everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. Just had a text message come in. How are you guys doing? Hope you're having a good day. So, we're doing another Twitter peeps. Why? Because Chantal still hasn't come online. She's not come live. And there are theories about that. Not quite sure if she's still in Kuwait or Canada, although there are signs that she might be in Canada. She did have her channel set for Kuwait. She switched that over to Canada. Also, yesterday, when I did the Twitter peeps react, uh, the Kiwi farmers, they did notice that the space of time between her last post and the newest post was 14 hours, which would be the same amount of time it would take for her to fly from Kuwait to Canada. So why am I making this video? Well, there's more stuff to report, and I want to keep up with all the goings on and keep you guys updated too. So Paws Kuwait has given us another update telling us that they're just not going after Chantal. They're going after Salah too. Also in the update, they said that there is a case number and they have filed with the ministry. It looks pretty serious. So they might be getting Salah on money laundering. It's bad. It's really bad. There's so much stuff to talk about, y'all. And I don't know where Chantal is. I don't know if she's in Canada. I don't know if she's in Kuwait. Chantal in the past, she loves using the tool of misdirection, directing everybody one way while she's going another way. She likes doing that. She likes playing a game with YouTube. And she's obviously in a place somewhere where she can't go live. Now, I don't know if that's in Kuwait. I don't know if she's in Canada staying with Aunt Phyllis or mom and they're telling her, you can't stream over here. But wherever she's at, she can't stream yet. And every day that she's not able to stream, she can't make money. So there's that. But there's a lot of stuff to go over on Twitter. So this is nothing but Twitter peeps, y'all. And I hope you guys enjoy. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into all of the Twitter peeps. And thanks and credit to all the Twitter peeps for all the little clips. So thank you, Twitter. Let's get on with the Twitter peeps, y'all. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps. Let me just make sure I am where I need to be. Okay, just sharing the screen. You know, after I did my Twitter peeps video last night, I thought Chantal was done with her community post, but she wasn't. She just refuses to shut up. She just kept going. That's another reason why we're doing the Twitter peeps. She just wouldn't shut up yesterday. She just wouldn't shut up. Foodie Beauty does not know how to shut up. She doesn't know how to be quiet. She needs attention. And she's like, and another thing. Nobody ever taught Chantal, stop while you're ahead. There's no break when it comes to that woman. She just goes full speed ahead. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter, that you'd like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. So, hey. Those of you that like watching Neo Tarot, she posted another reading on Salah, and it was a wonderful, wonderful reading, Neo. And I'm going to react to that and post my react tomorrow. But let's go on to Enigma 2025, saying, imagine how she will respond if she were ever arrested. The Karen in her will come out resisting arrest with violence. Enigma 2025 says, the kitty isn't dying. She made that lie up. So this is from Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I don't want to play the audio. I don't know what the audio is. If there's music, it's copyrighted. We'll just play the clip here. We don't need the sound. So you guys can see right there. There are the kittens. There they are. Being well fed. Okay. It's Chantal tries to say that what she did was a rescue. It wasn't a rescue. It was her snatching a kitten from its mother out of a park for the sake of grifting, because she didn't just simply take the kitten home and care for it herself using her own money. As soon as she got the kitten wrapped up in her hand, she was asking for money. And then she got in trouble for it, because while she's in Kuwait, she is not allowed to accept donations of any kind for any reason. And she's been doing the PayPal grift for a while. And I'm wondering if there are any criminal charges, if a lot of other stuff is going to come up. A lot of other stuff that she's done, like, say, filming government buildings or filming the oil fields or filming children, filming people without the permission or consent. I mean, this hole could go pretty deep. Depends on how far Kuwait and its government wants to go. But I'm wondering how much the government wants to go into things and how they're going to handle it. But I guess we'll find out, won't we? Perfectly Imperfect says, it's official, guys. Foodie Beauty finally had sex with Salah. Yep, she sure did. She sure did. She effed him over. That she did. If she flew back home to Canada, to her safe place, she left Salah there to deal with everything that she created. But I'm not going to paint this story as if he were completely innocent. He's not. He could have ended this thing with Chantal a long time ago. As a matter of fact, he could have not gotten started with Chantal. If he knew about her channel and who she was, then he should have known to stay away. But if he made that mistake, and then after 3 months of her being there on the first round, he could have cut it off, but he didn't, because he was greedy. He wanted that money train to keep going. Even though the money train came with a headache known as Foodie Beauty, he kept it going and kept it going and kept it going and kept it going. And it just kept getting worse. And he never put the brakes on. So is she troublesome? Yeah. Did he allow the trouble to happen in his life? Yeah. Now they're both learning a hard lesson, or at least he will. I don't know about her. But if she flew back to Canada, she has left him alone there to deal with the consequences. And I'm wondering if that's going to lead to, at some point, Salah making a channel somewhere. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of lost my train of thought. I just got a knock at the door. It's all right. I'm just somebody talked to me about rescheduling something tomorrow. But yeah, like Chantal, she has left Salah high and dry. And I'm wondering if he's going to make a channel on YouTube away from his main channel. And he might be spilling some tea, because I'm sure he's not going to be very happy if she's run back to Canada and left him holding the bag. He and his family are going to be furious, absolutely furious. Seasons says, so Foodie Beauty self-snitched to Paws, trying to get ahead of her crap. It was never the haters. You did this all to yourself, thinking you were so intelligent. So yeah, that happened. She contacted Paws Kuwait and snitched on herself. Rule number 1, Chantal lies. Rule number 2, Chantal tells on herself. And she told on herself. She told on herself. She went directly to Paws Kuwait and told on herself and confessed to committing a crime, and was wanting to give them the money that she received illegally and make them a partner in crime. And they're not about that life. They can't do things like that there. But it's not because of the haters that you got in trouble, Chantal. It was because you snitched on herself. It wasn't Girl World's fault. Not at all. Everything that happened was a direct result of something that you put into play. You went to that park. You saw the kitten. You decided you wanted to use the kitten as a way to make money. You accepted donations for the kitten, and then you got in trouble for it. And that's why perhaps you are fleeing the country. Everything that happened was a result of something that you did. The only thing that Girl World did was let Paws Kuwait know exactly who you were and what you've done. Outside of that, Fondue Spider Beach says, Paws Kuwait, you are amazing. And I second those thoughts. Smeardrop says, Paws Kuwait, most recent statement to everyone. Thank you to those who have shared so much evidence. We can only hope for justice now. I would like to say something to people sending things to Paws Kuwait. Look, I know that we all want justice for BBJ. We want justice for all the animals that Foodie has hurt. We know she's a hurtful person. We know. And I'm going to turn off this phone. It's just getting all in my way today. Shut up, phone. I know that we all want to help Paws Kuwait, but we might be overwhelming them with stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much stuff on Chantal. There's so many video clips. There's so much stuff that she's done over the past 8 years. And I'm pretty sure they're getting bombarded with messages, with videos, with video clips. Maybe those sending that stuff, you're sending it to help the case, but just imagine how they're getting bombarded right now. Everybody, don't overwhelm Paws Kuwait, please. Remember that they are an animal rescue organization. That is their purpose. That's what they want to do. I'm sure this whole thing with Chantal, it's something that got dropped in their lap, and they're like, whoa. So let's just keep that in mind for those that are sending stuff to Paws Kuwait, like just the many emails that might be coming through and the DMs and so forth. But let's read this statement from Paws Kuwait. Paws Kuwait says, please, all of you, be sure that we don't have any personal issues with Chantal. Before Bruce, we don't know who Chantal is, okay? Fair enough. They're right. They didn't know who she was before this whole thing happened. But after what happened with Bruce, okay, and the information we received, plus the donation she made out of Bruce, okay, and she came and offered the money like she wanted us to be her partner in crime. Yeah, that's not going to fly. What was Chantal thinking? I could just pay you off and you don't report me. I'll give you the money. As if a real organization is going to do that. We had to notify, collect the evidence, and notify the authority. And it didn't stop there. Social Affairs now is involved, and they're going to send the complaint to the public attorney. And there will be an investigation. We sent everything to them in one CD. All the videos that she was asking for money. And now from the day that she came to Kuwait until she left us, she said that she already was in Canada. Oh, and I oop. There'll be new charges because we got to know that she made video, of a sensitive location, and it's huge. This is a huge, big crime. And I believe that Paws Kuwait is talking about when Chantal filmed the oil fields. That's a big no-no over there. Big no-no. As a quality citizen, I'm applied to report that, though, and I'm collecting also evidences for against her and against her husband, Salah, and also will be submitted soon to what they call the state of security of state, correct? Okay, because this really is a big crime. She cannot videotape sensitive locations in Kuwait. It's a huge crime. Thank you so much for your continued support. I know that it took time, but collecting evidences could mean I translate them to Arabic. It takes time. It's not easy. Thank you so much, everyone. So the things that people are sending them, they not only have to collect everything, but translate everything to Arabic. So the things that are being sent to another person or group of people, they'll be able to understand what's being said and what exactly is happening. But thank you for giving us an update, Paws Kuwait. Really appreciate it, because girl world, we are looking for updates to situation. We absolutely are. So thank you for that. Seattle Spire's Low Carb World says, if Salah and family have any brains, they will fully cooperate with Kuwait authorities to help them build a strong case against her so she can be deported and stand trial. Boo, I would be singing like a canary on this one. Absolutely. And I had a feeling that would happen if she ever got in trouble over there, that he would flip on her to save his own skin. He's going to flip on her because he's not alone. He's got his family to think about, and the family name in Kuwait is a big thing. Like, the family name holds a lot of honor, and if you do something dishonorable, it not only looks bad on you, it looks bad on your family. So this whole thing with Salah and Chantal, it might reflect badly on the family. So he's got to do what he's got to do to bring the honor back, if that's even possible. This might bring shame to the whole family. But let's look at this right here. Key points about extradition treaty between Canada and Kuwait. Scope. The treaty covers offenses punishable by imprisonment or other deprivation of liberty for at least 2 years in either country. Dual criminality. For an offense to be I hate big words. My tongue hates them. For an offense to be extraditable, there, I said it. It must be considered a crime under the laws of both Canada and Kuwait. Conditions for extradition. Canada will only extradite an individual if the offense is punishable by imprisonment or deprivation of liberty for a term of 2 years or more in the requesting country. And the conduct would also constitute a crime in Canada. So everything just broke. Everything just happened. Who knows where this is going to land? But she could be in trouble in Canada and also in Kuwait. And even if Chantal managed to flee out of the country and go back home to Canada before the charges hit on Monday, it doesn't mean that she's escaped anything. I've seen people in girl world say that, like, she got away with it. No, she didn't. Chantal didn't get away with anything. Getting away with something is not the same as running away from something. And that's what she did. She ran away from something. She didn't get away with it. She ran away. If she's back in Canada right now, she ran away from the consequences like a coward. And why did she run? Because she knows she did wrong. If you've done nothing wrong, if you've broken no laws, if you're completely in the right, there's no reason to run, right? It's only the guilty that run. The innocent don't run. If they know they're in the right, they're going to stand in place and they're going to stand on business. You run when you know you've done wrong and you're about to get caught. So who knows? She might be in Kuwait. She might be in Canada. It remains to be seen. But even if she is in Canada, it doesn't mean that she's escaping justice. It might happen regardless. All right. Smeardrop says, Paws Kuwait's most recent statement to everyone. Thank you to those who have shared so much evidence. We can only hope for justice now. Yep. Okay, something cute. We got to do something cute. Content that'll heal your depression. The fact that he's still eating. This kitty's like, I regret nothing and I'm ashamed of nothing. Like, this is my new cat bowl. Like, who cares for that little cat bowl? I got the new improved version right here. Num, num, num. That's big brain activity right there. All right, content that'll hear your depression. Kitties. What's a beautiful cat? Tell your cat I said psst, psst. And there's a kitty right there. What is it about psst? Cats just love it. All right, this is from Scar Letter saying if anyone needs a reminder of Foodie Beauty discussing end of life discussions about BBJ. So some people might have seen this and some people may not have seen this because I am aware that different people jump into the Foodieverse at different times. So for those new beezers who might wander on over here, maybe you haven't seen this clip, maybe you're unaware. This is Chantal talking about her former cat, BBJ. And I would like you to take notice of how callous she is talking about BBJ. And think about the current situation where she is either in Kuwait and she's going to flee and come back to Canada, or she's already fled Kuwait and she's back in Canada and she's left behind yet another pet for whatever to happen. But let's watch the clip.
Right away with me. She follows me like now. She's very clingy now, so she needs somebody. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would never reconsider rehoming her. But I know there's people out there who are super loving of her.
That's true. And I've talked about this before. During Crackhead Olympics, when Chantal was at her worst, there were so many beezers, so many people that stepped forward and said, look, if you don't want BBJ or Sam, I will take them. No questions asked. I'll give them a home. And Chantal refused every single one of them. There were so many people saying, I will take the cats. If you're in a position where you don't want to take care of them anymore, or you're about to move over to Kuwait, I'll take the cats. I'll take them. She said no to all of them. And now we know why. Because of her severe neglect that she did not want anyone to know, that she desperately tried to hide. As a matter of fact, she tried to induce death to BBJ by starving her. That's right. She starved BBJ. She didn't have any cat food in the house to feed BBJ and Sam. And nobody knew until Pete opened his mouth and said, yeah, the cats have been out of food for 2 days. And a nice beezer postmated over some cat food so the cats could have food. And then later on, Chantal came back and said, oh, there was food in the house. Peach just didn't know where it was. I don't believe that. And aren't you the cat owner, Chantal? Shouldn't you be telling the person who's caring for your cats where the food is? I mean, your story just doesn't make sense, but oh well.
Be super loving while I'm away. Or at least even just taking her while I'm away, maybe. Maybe not rehoming her forever, but I don't think people will want to go through all that trouble and then give her back. And I don't know how long she's starting to like go deaf. I'm going to take her to the vet before I go just for an exam to make sure.
And that never happened. Chantal was home from Kuwait for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, y'all. She had 3 weeks to notice 5 ingrown nails embedded in BBJ's foot pads. She had 3 weeks to notice that BBJ was underweight, that she had problems going to the bathroom, that the litter boxes weren't clean, etc., etc., the dirty infected ears, the rotted teeth. 3 weeks. Nothing happened. No vet visits, no grooming, no nothing. 3 weeks and she did not notice how matted the fur was. She had no intention of spending money on BBJ or Sam. She wanted to keep that in pocket, use it for food, for whatever she wanted. She looked at any money spent on the animals as wasted money because it had nothing to do with her own personal life pleasures and addictions.
I know, Ren. I don't like leaving her. I don't.
You didn't care. During Crackhead Olympics, you would leave Sam and BBJ alone for weeks with Pete, who's not exactly the best person to take care of animals. He's not good about taking care of himself. He's a very bad cat sitter. I mean, this is the same person we're talking about that he let the cat boxes go for 3 months, even though there were boxes of clean, unopened, pretty litter sitting by the stairs. He didn't change the litter properly. He wouldn't dump out the old litter and put in new litter. He would just put clean litter on top until the box was so heavy he couldn't pick it up. And even with that happening, he couldn't think his way around a problem and take a little of the litter out and throw it away and keep doing that until it was at a weight where he can carry the whole box down to the dumpster. Yeah. But you would leave those cats alone for weeks, not give a doggone.
I do feel bad, but I do have to go there. I can't. I mean, she could live for many years more. Who knows? Ageless Beauty, what's wrong with you? I'm like gonna like not meet and go get married, put my life on hold because BBJ. Like,
You know what this is giving me? What vibes this is giving me? Does anybody remember those who are around for Crackhead Olympics? Does anybody remember that day when Timbit passed away? Chantal had to take Pete's with Timbit to the vet because Timbit had been sick with, I believe it was feline leukemia, and Timbit passed away. So she took Pete's to the vet, and poor Timbit was put down, or she died, and then Pete was alone at the house. And she left him alone at the house, and she went over to go see Natter. And people were giving her crap for that, saying, "You're a bad friend. Pete is not in the best place emotionally, mentally, and you're leaving him alone." And she was very defensive. She was very angry. Like, what do you expect me to do? I want to spend time with my boyfriend. That's what vibes this is giving me of I want to do what I want to do, and no one's going to tell me otherwise. I'm not going to let anything or anyone stop me from what I want to do. Same vibes.
are you? Give your head a shake. What do I think for peace? Well, rat face, like my arrangement is gonna slowly change over time. Okay, it's not something I'm just gonna like not push him out on the street right away.
But you are going to push him out on the street. I remember during Crackhead Olympics, like, you want to be with Nad so bad. More than once, you talked about getting rid of the cats, getting rid of Pete's. Oh, it'd be so much better if you were just renting a room somewhere. You just want to push away anything that meant it kept you away from Nads.
I work from home. I have a cat room and cats need. Yeah, like you know, maybe just going to the vet and not coming home.
Look at that. Let's go back. You know what? I'm going to blow that up. Look. We're going to back that up. I want Beezers, please pay attention. Those of you that have pets or love animals, that you would never dream of hurting animals, or if you have a pet, just the thought of something happening to your pet, it will probably get you start crying. Look at her reaction.
You know, maybe just going to the vet and not coming home. Sorry, you're so dramatic.
And she's laughing her butt off about that. BBJ going to the vet and not coming home, and she's laughing hilariously at that. An odd reaction from somebody who claims to love animals.
That's why it's funny. No, listen. My cat is 20. Okay, if the vet tells me that it might be better for her since her quality of life is not good, it's more humane to euthanize her. I absolutely believe in that. Sweetie, why are you so sweetie?
I want to go back to this part right here. Let's go back. Hold on a second.
It's over with me. She follows me like now. She's very clingy now, so she needs somebody. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would never consider rehoming her, but I know there's people out there who are super loving of her, would be super loving while I'm away, or at least even just taking her while I'm away, maybe. Maybe not rehoming her forever, but I don't think people will want to go through all that trouble and then give her back.
Yeah. What are you expecting people to do, Foodie? For you to give them an animal, they pay for all the vet bills, they pay for all the food, they get attached to the animal and then just give her back when you want her back. In essence, you're expecting somebody else to cover all the expenses. And then you could just use an animal as a stage prop when you see fit. No, 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 that's not how it works.
And I don't know how long she's starting to like go deaf.
She says that about all of her animals. You guys notice that every animal that she wants to get rid of or she wants to exploit, she always says they're near death. Everything is near death. Everything is near death. Like that's a common thing with her. Like, it's so sickly, it's near death. D. Angry Scott says, if all this happens, then it's the most beautiful karmic justice ever witnessed by humans, apart from the actual don't F with cats doc. They should start working on the Foodie documentary. This story is not going to get a better peak. Uh-oh. Possible next steps for authorities. If they proceed, officials may freeze her ability to leave the country, travel ban, call her in for questioning or detain her for investigation, coordinate with immigration to review her entry exit stamps and visa type history, review all accessible content on her platforms, especially during Ramadan. If anything found contradicts Kuwaiti laws or visa conditions, additional charges can be added, even retroactively. Oops. And that's another thing, girl world. It would seem that Chantal has been spending her free time going on her channel and she's deleting videos left and right. Yeah, especially during Ramadan. Why is that? Again, Chantal, if you did nothing wrong, why are you deleting so much stuff? Only the guilty hide the evidence. If you're innocent, there is no evidence to hide, right? So why are you in a mad rush to get rid of so many things? You do know that the videos are still out there, right? Are you thinking that, oh, because it's not on my channel, it doesn't count? Yeah, it does. The reaction channels, the clip channels, the archive channels, they got all that stuff. And all that stuff can be sent to certain people. It's still going to be out there. Trying to sweep it under a rug does not work at all. It's still there, mama. It's still there. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. Fondue Spider Beach says, Foodie Beauty, we will see you tomorrow. You better hope you got your big butt on Canadian soil. Because if you were defined enough to sit your big butt in Mangef typing those posts out, you effed yourself harder than a dishwasher ever could. Oh my God. Wow. This is one of the last posts she put. She goes, yeah, I deleted my post, meant every word. I just don't want to give it attention. At the same time, you did give it attention. Impulsivity bees, as usual, gonna deal with this situation privately. Not sure when I will make content. I am tired of the internet, even those posts. Okay, I'm out. So she finally shut up. But Chantal, she's in need of two things: money and attention. And where can she get both of those things? YouTube. So every day that she has not gone live, she's losing money and she's definitely not getting attention. Hence the reason why she's doing all the community posts. Although I once remember Chantal saying she doesn't do anything for free. So you are raging for free, Chantal. You're not making money with it. You know, again, I don't know where you are, but wherever you are, you must not be able to go live. So I'm thinking you're either somewhere in Kuwait, hiding out, maybe in a motel room, or you're staying with mom or auntie, and they told you absolutely not, you're not going live over here. So you have to wait until you're somewhere where you can talk. That's what I'm thinking. Nana Spike T says, Foodie Beauty, that guy wasn't a vet. As with your marriage, you believe what Salah told you. The kitten wasn't at death's door. Had the kitten been that deathly ill, an actual vet wouldn't have let you take the kitten. Very true. The vet is as real as her marriage. Not your mother, says Hey Chin, is a totally real vet in a tracksuit examining the kitten telepathically and diagnosing things without touching. No exam table, stethoscope, thermometer, exam gloves, sink, disinfectant, or support staff. So professional. Right. That doesn't look like a vet's office to me. So if he's not a vet, how could he know what was wrong with the kitten? He can't. It was a pharmacist. They sell medications. That's all. Fondue Spider Beach says Foodie Beauty. Chantal is deleting and hiding her evidence and taking donations to support her channel and paying for her to eat. At Paws Kuwait, we have all the evidence you need. Where would you like us to send? Y'all, be careful. Let's not overwhelm them. I'm sure they're getting bombarded. Don't bombard them too much. They're probably like in the weeds right now trying to go through all the stuff that people are sending to them. And I know y'all are just trying to be helpful, but let's just remember that there's a lot of us in girl world, and they probably have never dealt with anything like this before, and it might be a lot for them. So let's just kind of take it easy. I'm sure they got a lot already. Bad Seed says Foodie Beauty is deleting incriminating videos like this one here. If you have anything showing her crimes or post that to the Kuwait authority, can view them. Yep. Deleting videos. She's guilty of something. If she wasn't guilty, she wouldn't try to hide things. Sponsored Ramadan donuts. So during Ramadan, you were accepting donations. Big no-no. Big no-no, Foodie. Big, huge no-no. Y'all, lean in. This is a big one. Peach Slick says, oh, she done effed up. Foodie Beauty, although I feel she is out of the country, kind of wish Paws had made it so public when they were filing, so she would have had a travel ban, but oh well. I'm your Huckleberry, says Foodie Beauty, just triggered a review of her social media platforms by the Attorney General. Better hope they don't stumble across the really offensive stuff. Yeah, like that rabbit hole is deep and it is very, very dark. Like I said, I don't know how deep down the hole they want to go, but they can spend a good minute there. Content review process. Once a case is under formal review in Kuwait, especially if it's referred to the Attorney General, it becomes standard procedure for authorities to review social media platforms, including YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Document evidence of behavior inconsistent with public morality laws, visa restrictions, or cybercrime statutes. Cross-reference public content with immigration records to see how long she's been in the country and under what visa class. Since this complaint already highlights that she's on a visitor's permit, a tourist visa, she requested donations publicly, unauthorized fundraising, and she has previous reports against her. It's highly likely they'll now dig deeper into whether she's been working, monetizing while on a tourist visa. Any indecent or offensive content in violation of Kuwaiti public decency laws, length and pattern of stay to assess for visa hopping or illegal residency behavior. Ooh, sounds like they're going to look into everything. Everything. Chantal, you messed up. You really messed up. You got too cocky. You got too arrogant. And I know why, because the longer you stayed in Kuwait, the more you did, the longer that things went on and there were no consequences, the more it emboldened you to keep going. You honestly thought you could just do whatever you wanted and Kuwait would not pay attention to you. Well, they're paying attention to you. And now everything you've done is going to get brought to the surface, all of it. And once again, running from something is not the same as getting away with something. Girl world, she hasn't gotten away with anything yet. I mean, things are still fresh. Things are still developing. Who knows where this is going to go? Even if she's in Canada right now, it doesn't mean she's gotten away with anything. She ran away. She did not get away from something. All right, so moving on. I'm your Huckleberry says another beautiful gem from this gift of a situation. Foodie Beauty either comes live, loses her crap, and further incriminates herself, or her beezers get so starved for Foodie Beauty content, they'll start tuning into reaction channels and finally get exposed to the truth. Yeah, that might be a side effect. That some of the beezers might be looking around at the reaction channels and become subscribers. I know that I've seen some beezers in different chats and they're defending Foodie, of course, because they like her. But all I've got to say to people that are beezers, and I'm just going to speak sensibly here, beezers, just because you like somebody, you may like their voice, you may like their personality. If they've done wrong, they've done wrong. If they've broken a law, they have broken a law. And that's it. And that's all. And that's the end of the story. Okay. She broke laws over there. She was there for 3 years and she broke a lot of laws, filming children, filming people without their consent, filming the oil fields, filming the graveyards, accepting donations. She's broken many laws. She was not careful and she wasn't respectful of Kuwait. So just because you like somebody doesn't mean that they aren't a criminal, that they haven't broken laws. As I've said, if you like someone, sometimes the eyes will never see what the heart does not want to see. When you get so caught up in liking somebody that you refuse to see just how rotten and wrong they are. And I think that's the case with a lot of you. You like her so much, you want to continue liking her, that you don't want to see the rotten in Foodie, even though it's right there in front of you. You don't want to see the food addiction and how out of control it is. You don't want to see and acknowledge that she is a grifter and a scammer to the point where she rips you guys off. Right there in front of your eyes, she does it. And yet you're okay with it because you want to continue liking her. You don't want to see the rotten in the fruit, although the rotten is composed of most of the fruit. But I'll leave it up to you, beezers, to make up your own minds. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Enigma 2025 says, Miriam, is that you? Girl World is having so much fun with this whole thing. You know what's hilarious to me? Chantal has been staying in Kuwait for the longest because she did not want to come home to Canada and get the egg on her face. She did not want to hear from people, we were right. The marriage that you had with Salat was fake. He didn't love you. It was never going to work out. She didn't want to hear it. She did not want to come back to Canada and have to start all over again, although she herself put herself in that position. She was avoiding the egg on her face. Well, she's dealing with it now. And she's going to have to deal with it a while longer. She will have to suffer, all of us. And it's all because of the choices that she made. She can't get mad at us. Nope. She can't get mad at Girl World. She did this to herself. She didn't have to go to Kuwait. She didn't have to be with Salah. She could have stayed in Canada and taken care of her taxes and still lived with Peeps and BBJ and Sam and taking care of the cats and taking care of herself. And she would have been a lot better off. But Once again, she went running after a man that didn't care about her just because he looked halfway decent. She got caught up in the optics and the price was high. So yeah, girl world is having fun right now. Here's another post from Foodie. I told you she don't know when to STFU. Foodie says, you really don't know when to STFU, do you? Nope. Sorry, but why should I? I'm being accused of something and wrongfully so. I will not shut up. Sorry, but I come from the land of freedom of speech. Well, if you're being accused of something wrongly so, then why aren't you standing your ground and standing on the righteous path and saying, I am on the righteous path and I know I'm in the right. I want justice. No, you're running from it because you know you did wrong, Foodie. You know you did wrong. Even now, you're trying to paint yourself the victim when you're not. You're not a victim. You're a predator. You're an apex predator. You prey on people. You prey on animals. You prey on everything. You're a predator. And you don't want your beezers to know that. You don't want them to recognize what you are, to see you for what you are. So you put on the disguise of opposition, a predator putting on the disguise of a victim. So they won't see what's underneath the costume. Sandy the Rat Quesadilla says, just to correct some misinformation that's floating around, Foodie's channel is now listed with Canada as a location. People are saying it was listed as such, which is not correct. Now, if it did change just this weekend, then that's the T. So she did have it listed in Kuwait at one point. Now it's in Canada, which is making people think that she's back in Canada. But it's one of those things, girl world, we'll wait and see. Where she pops up, where is she going to be? The moment she turns on the camera, we'll know more. She might tell us more. We might find out more based on the background. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. What else we got here? Emma McDonald said, she'll try, but community knows what she's going to do because she does it. She's that predictable. Not only that, tons of footage proves she was the dominant, demanding beach, not afraid to shut him down, put him in his place, exploiting DV for profit, not going to work this time. So what is that in reference to? Well, there was a post on Twitter where we already know what's going to happen. If she goes back to Canada, if she is in Canada, she might try to paint this picture of Salah was mean to me. He was abusive, blah, blah, blah. We're not buying that story, girl world. She could put that meat on the shelf all day long and discount it. I still won't buy it because I'll know it's rotten even before I touch it. She's going to try to paint herself the victim. He was mean to me. He forced me to do things. I ain't buying it. I'm not. She was the employer. He was the employee. She paid him. She had the first and last say-so of the whole situation. So she tries to come online with her fake alligator tears, saying, I was a victim. Don't believe her. Ain't going to work this time, Foodie. No, ma'am. Nope. Donna says, Chantal trying to hide from the police like. Oh, what's that saying? You can run, but you can't hide. Yeah, you definitely can't hide, Foodie. I don't think hiding's going to work. You are definitely noticeable in public. You're not someone that can just slip in and out of a crowd and nobody would know you were there. They very much will know that you're there. DX says Kuwaiti's attorney general this morning after checking his email. You know, the general's like, what is this? What is going on? Are you kidding me? Now check this out. This was another one of Foodie's community posts. I told you she wasn't done. She doesn't know when to shut up. James Brightman says, "Dang, Fat Cow didn't even finish writing and Foodie screenshotted it. I told you she's everywhere." Ghost Crab says Chantal literally screenshotted Fat Cow Chronic's tweet 1 second after she sent it. You have a fan, honey, or a stalker? Don't know. So okay, let's go. This was from Fat Cow Chronicles. Great channel. This is what she posted on is it Twitter? If Foodie Beauty hadn't left by the time she filed for, if Foodie Beauty hadn't left by the time the file from the charity had been made tomorrow, she will not be allowed to legally leave the country until a verdict has been reached, which also means she'll overstay her visa and be fined 10 Kuwaiti dinar a day for every day she stays over, which she has to pay before she can leave. Even with deportation, I believe things are getting messy. And that's true. There's no falseness spoken there. When you're in Kuwait, you cannot leave if you have a debt somewhere. You have to pay off everything you owe before you go back to wherever it is you're living. And then Foodie did this. She said, "Imagine this is your life. Look at this lonely bee salivating over this happening, overanalyzing potential legal repercussions for trying to help a cat. Repercussions that none of which will happen as usual." And then she goes into the look shaming for Fat Cow Chronicles, saying, "I think the ink from that awful, hideous forehead tattoo you have has warped your brain." Foodie, you talk about girl world being bullies. That comment right there, like, what was that? You're going low. You're insulting somebody's looks. Have you looked in the mirror lately without the filters? Yeah, thank you. You and your angry bird brows, girl. Don't talk to me. I'm sorry. It's just too hard not to clap back at these parasitic losers. It's not that hard. Just shut off your phone and don't look at Twitter. How about that? Even if this was true, you think they're just going to throw a guilty verdict automatically? LOL, I can't. I'm done with this stupid case, but I'm sure Paws will keep posting publicly about it for clout. Huh? And to make an example. What clout? What clout do you think they have? Chantal, listen. Again, you got the ball rolling in the first place. Let's rewind the tape a little. If you had not gone to that park that day, if you had not snatched the kitten away from its mother for the purpose of grifting, even after the Beezers told you, don't do it, Chantal, don't do it. If you had not gone there and done that, you wouldn't be where you are right now. You got the ball rolling. You went to the park, you took the kitten. That was a no-no. You took donations for it, another no-no. And then after you got called out for it, you went to the organization, you snitched on yourself, you admitted that you committed a crime, saying, yeah, I got this much money, trying to give it to them, which would make them complicit, and they weren't about that life. You told on yourself, trying to save your own hide. You told on yourself, you confessed to a crime. And they didn't want nothing to do with it. And then you got mad at them because they weren't just going to take your money and make everything go away, which is exactly what you wanted to happen. You wanted them to take your money and then drop the charges. Let me just pay you off. It's not how it works. Maybe you're used to getting your way that way, but that's not how it works. But like, here she is raging, and there's an old saying, if you don't like it, don't look, Foodie. If you don't like what people have to say, don't look at it. Don't read it. Don't listen to it. But you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, you're paying attention to Girl World. Just mind your business. We have a right to say what we want to say. and you can't shut us up. No matter how much you want to, you can't shut us up. I love this. Florida Sultan says, all rise for Judge Polby, the Honorable Judge Polby in the building. I salute Judge Polby. All right, Perfectly Imperfect says, more complaints are on the way, most likely harassment and threats, as per her post yesterday. Foodie Beauty has really hung her husband and his family out to dry. Yeah, and I'm sure that they're not going to take that lying down. This isn't just her in Salah. I'm sure the family name is going to come into question. He has family members, and this could tarnish the family name, which I don't think they're going to be cool with. So if she's trying to hang them out to dry, they may hang her out to dry and work with the authorities. Paws Kuwait says, please note that more complaints are on the way and will be shared with you for transparency. Thanks, Paws Kuwait. Looking forward to the updates. All right, moving on. All right, now there are some ugly comments here, y'all, from some of the Beezers. Racist comments. Horrible, horrible comments. The bees are just making it worse. Like HTO for Life says, question, why would a reputable pet rescue organization actively engage with people reaction channels who regularly commit cyber crimes? How are we committing cyber crimes? You know what I love? When people say things like that, but they don't give an example. They don't name names. They don't show receipts. They don't show any proof. They just want to make the statement without proof. Excuse me, this is a conflict of interest. No, it isn't. It really isn't. What Chantal did, she did publicly. She wanted to come on YouTube and grift using a kitten, turn this into a public thing, and all that Paws Kuwait is doing is giving us updates on how things are going. That's all they're doing. They're letting people know that they've turned everything over to the proper authorities, and the proper authorities are going to handle it. And who is this person? True Foodie Beauty saying this hateful stuff. Who are you? Why are you saying this? Kuwait is full on prejudice against Americans and Canadians. I disagree. I disagree. And proof is in Chantal's footage because she was in Kuwait for what, 3 years? I didn't see any hateful behavior by the Kuwaiti people. Did y'all? When she was walking down the street, going places, did you guys see any kind of hateful behavior or comments to her? No. So obviously, True Foodie Beauty, you're wrong. They remind me of the mental BS Mexico place. Oh, so we're throwing shade on Mexico now, are we? How dare you? There are wonderful people in Mexico. Shame on you. Shame. Shame. Mexico has wonderful people. What do you mean? They all scam and they're overcharged for their products. Quit it. Quit it. Stop with this hate. Oh my God. True Foodie Beauty, I don't know who you are, but yeah, get the F out of this rude racist place. Look at you. Accusing Kuwait of being racist. At the same time, look at the hate in your post. True Foodie Beauty. Look at the ugly things that you're saying in your post about Mexico, about Kuwait. You sound racist as hell. You need to go have a seat. You're just showing all kinds of ugly over here. Shame on you. Shame. Shame on you. Saying that stuff. Enigma 2025 says Chantal changed her location to Canada. Her channel doesn't appear at first anymore when you look it up. Maybe because she made changes? All right. I'm just making sure there's nothing else. Oh no. Lori says, Girl World, you guys are the best covering the updates. Get some rest. You've earned it. Lori, I don't think we're going to be able to get any rest. Chantal's being somewhat quiet right now, but I think she's going to get noisy real quick. I got a feeling that if she's back in Canada, the moment she rents a vehicle and she can turn on her phone, it's going to be Crackhead Olympics 3.0. She's probably working out the details with the green pea machine right now. Just taking some time and doing some edibles and eating a mukbang. And yeah, son, it's going to get crazy real quick. So no rest for the wicked. You just... Girl world, we're about to get tired. We're about to get tired. We're going to be tired all over again. Hope y'all are ready. Let's see. Yeah, and I heard about this too. That she was not paying off her back taxes in Canada, and that the trustee handling the case has had trouble finding Foodie. Wah-wah. What else we got here? She just kept going and going and going. Your mom's emotional support, Carrot, says, Chantal, you don't understand the fact that laws are laws. It is against the law in Kuwait to solicit donations for any reason, full stop. Your stupid self has been e-begging for months. You cannot accept the fact you're facing consequences. Hope they find and deport you. Well, they may not have to deport her. She may be back in Canada right now, but we'll find out. Perfectly Imperfect says, I come from the land of freedom of speech. Yeah, but your husband and his family do not. Yep, but she wasn't thinking about Salah or his family. They're a non-issue with Foodie. Collateral damage, meat byproducts she can just throw in the trash. She just wants to cause chaos, and anybody else around her that has to deal with it when she's gone, who cares? She's out. She's all about saving her own butt. That's what narcissists do. They save themselves, no one else. All right, so I think we're caught up. I think that's it. So we'll just cut it off here. So that's all the tea. That's what's going on. Chantal couldn't shut up. She just make things worse. But it feels like even if she has left Canada, it's Salah, he might have to deal with a whole bunch of stuff. He and his family. And I don't know how they're going to handle it, but there might be a chance that at some point Salah might squeal. He might sing like a canary to save his own skin. He might get so mad he comes online and gives us all the tea. I would imagine this whole thing has made him furious. And since she's not there, and if she's hung him out to dry and his family, he might just give us everything. He might just tell us everything that happened. So that's it, y'all. That's the update. That's the Twitter peeps. Hope you all have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.